Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. This is Scoville's Interesting Stories, and I think I have a very interesting story today. Now, you'll have to set your clocks back because this story took place in about 1925, in that general period of time. Anyway, story involves a little boy, about 10 years old. He was a good kid, but not real friendly with people, not a troublemaker, just kind of kept to himself. But one day he came home all happy because he got a job, his first job, and he figured he can buy little toys and things he wanted with his income. And his job was to be a newspaper delivery boy on his bicycle. Oh, he was so happy. He ran into the house. Mother, guess what happened today? And his mother, I don't know. Sometimes when a parent can grasp the moment to really help the child, they just let it slide. And his mother just took the attitude of, don't bother me. Go do, you got extra chores, this newspaper route, go get busy doing your homework. So the kid went in his room and started studying his homework, and about an hour later, his father came in. And his father was furious. And he comes in his room and he slams the door. You god blank kid left your bicycle in the driveway. And I had to stop and get it out of the way. I should have just ran over it, but I didn't. And with that, pow! He hit the kid. Pow! He hit the kid again. Oh, Dad, ow, you're hurting me. Don't do it, please. Don't you ever leave your bicycle there again. And pow! Pow! And the kid just cried that night. Next morning, he told his mother what happened. And he said, I'm sorry about leaving my bicycle in the driveway, but I just was so excited about the newspaper route. And his mother just, it's your fault. Next time, do better. No, again, she didn't grasp the moment when she could nurture and help that child. He went to school. As time developed, though, his father started beating him. Not every day, but just periodically. Pow! And his father always hit him where the bruises wouldn't be seen, because the kid knew from other kids in school that if they came there with a black eye or different deformities on their face, a lot of times then the police would be knocking on their door. So he knew his father was just mean. Well, when the kid got into high school, he checked into sports to help him. They didn't have boxing there, and the closest thing he could do was wrestling. He didn't like wrestling at first, but eventually he lettered in wrestling and became quite proficient. His parents wouldn't come to the matches at all. And then he went to the YMCA and took a free karate class. He didn't have any money to pay for these classes, but they offered an introduction class for free. He had money from his paper route, but it just wasn't enough to do everything. So he took this class 3 times. And finally, the people at YCMC said, "Hey, son, we appreciate you being here, but you either got to move up to the other classes or, you can't keep taking the class free." And he says, "Oh, okay, I understand." And so he left that. But he learned a lot during those karate classes. One day when he was about 17, his father came in there and started. His father pulled his arm back like this, started. And the kid said, "Dad, don't touch me." That father just laughed. "Ha! What are you going to do about it, you punk kid?" So the father reared back again to hit him. And this kid gave him a 1-class karate class shop that sent his father to the floor. His father was shocked. He got up and got ready to hit him again, and this time the kid used his wrestling techniques, and he had his father on the floor in 2 seconds. And he told his dad, "Don't ever touch me again." And with that, he gave his father something he didn't want to do, but he did. He gave his father a solid hit in the eye. He didn't like violence. He hated it. But this, he felt, was necessary. Next day, when he woke up and going to go to school, his mother was furious at him. And he said, "What, Mother?" She says, "Your dad, my husband, left the house because he won't live with you because he says you're violent." "Mother, I don't want to be violent. I had to defend myself." "Not in my house. Get out." And with that, she kicked him out. Luckily, he had some friends at the YMCA, so he could stay there. And there at the YMCA, he met this friend who talked to him, and after he finished high school, suggested he get a job, and he found him a job as a house painter. Ooh, he thought that would be boring. I don't want to paint all day long. But after he did it a couple times, he loved it. You take a messed up house and then you make it beautiful. He's felt such pride and accomplishment. So he really liked it. And then in this city, the summers are very, very hot at night, but there's a nice breeze because they're not that far from the ocean. And so almost everybody leave their windows open, doors unlocked, back in the old days. So one night he couldn't sleep, and he went walking. And he heard pow, pow, coming from his house because the windows were open. And he wasn't being a peeping Tom, but he stopped and looked. And there he saw a husband beating up his wife. He hated violence, hated it. He knew what it did to his life. But he couldn't stand it also. Next night, this fellow, I guess going to a bar or somewhere, was walking in the street at night. And the house painter went up to him and said, "Sir, you beat your wife one more time, and I'll make you regret it. Mind your own business, you whippersnapper. I'll do what I want with my wife, and you don't tell me nothing. Sir, don't do it again. Well, next couple nights, pow, pow. This guy's beating his wife up. Met him in the alley a day later and just kicked and beat the living hell out of the guy. And he kept saying, I don't want to do this, sir. I don't like violence. I hate it. But I don't know what else will get a message across to you. Call the police if you want. My name is so-and-so. He didn't break any bones or do anything that really hurt the guy permanently, but he did hurt him. Next couple nights, he checked on the house. No more hitting. Well, this went on a couple times. He had to render his violence, which he hated, but he had to do it because he had to stop this. And so word got out to the police, but nobody filed any complaint, but the police kind of became aware. And one night the police came over to his house and said, well, nobody's complained yet, but we don't like this vigilante stuff. And he says, I don't either. Do your job and there won't be any. Police just kind of left it at that. Police don't like competition, you know that. Anyway, what happened was the weather changed. It became cold. So people were closing their window, closing their blinds. So he kind of had to go in hibernation. And he thought to himself, I hate it, but there'll be a summer next year. I don't mind the summer, but I hate what I'll see. Maybe I won't. Maybe these people have learned a lesson. I hope so. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening to my story. And if you like the story, subscribe or put a comment, good or bad. I'd appreciate hearing from people. Thank you very much.